of us.
Me.
Actually, you all
me.
look terrific. You all
I'm
look
ends looking
fantastic.
sexy, bro.
Thanks, man. You too.
My ego
It's just
got-
definitively, I'm better than all of you.
Actually, Ricky, did you get a haircut there, bud?
I did.
Hey, it looks
Yeah, I
good.
got
Nice
a
sharp.
nice
Very
clean cut,
clean.
man.
Yes, indeed.
I touch him while he sleeps.
Oh yeah, totally. Just give him a little how do you do, you know? Not that he'd
Yeah, that's
know,
why I always sleep
but
so
you
well.
would. Hey?
That's why I always sleep so good.
That's right. In sleep massage, man, this place has it all. What do you mean those jokes are inappropriate? Don't you know this is an adult stream? Quick sound check. I guess everybody's got music. I see Cody all bebop in there. So clearly
Yeah, I
that's
can hear it.
that's
That's
getting
good.
That's clear, I imagine.
Yep.
Right on, right on. Okay. Oh shit, do I have notifications turned on here? Oh man, they're not showing on the main, but they're showing on the stream. That's alright. Thank you, Ricky!
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. At this rate, I think my stream has made negative $650. Right on. Yeah. Trying to think, have I replaced anything recently with the computers? Oh yeah, computer and towers and shit like that. Although it's been a couple months of those donations, so you know it adds up. And we lost Ricky.
Now I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Switching up the
Oh, right,
face
right.
rig.
For your
I
illustrious.
thought you looked a little more
avatar self.
human today.
Yes, he had hair for that man.
Ah,
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing, the computer? Oh,
Lame. Okay.
Ugh, when you roll a joint, but you don't roll it very well. Anyhow, welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Black Thumb, from my garage with passion and fury unto my palette of personalities. That is my plethora of fantastic players. Joining us tonight, we have our illustrious guest playing as, of course, the race team from Gangsters once, now the illustrious and fate-born, as they race across Kalimshan, seeking victory, or doom trying. Now they find themselves at the southernmost end of the Great Desert. Having followed through a couple legs of this great race, they have come to the military navy city of Teshburo, where, as it is now under martial law, rampant with rebels, clashes between them and the navy here in the city, the whole of it is a bubble and roiling with flames and catastrophe, destruction and death. With them embroiled within all of this mess, they now seek for their pasha, one of the many nobles who have been taken by the rebels known as the Scarabs. These fiendish rebels, with their mind set on the destruction of this travesty they call the Great Race, are seeking to see it come to an end, and in doing so have taken these nobles such that the Great Race may not continue. Having learned all of this whilst seeking their destiny within the confines of the legacy of their once great driver, now dead, they found that his family led to a bloodline of two platforms that they now have in their employ. One based in a mechani engine, a magical construct with a magical construct within, and another Gondian platform, a traditional explosive engine of much power set in a sleek platform they call the Phoenix. Now, with the De La Vega daughters, Sophie in tow, having discovered so many strange and incredibly dark things along the way, they seek for their pasha at the epicenter of the city, allegedly in the undercroft of the museum. And will they succeed, or will they die trying to rescue him? Only time will tell. And with that said, Sean, if you could, as our amazing archivist, regale us with a tale of what happened last time on Black Thumb.
sure.
So last time we open up with we see clouds on the skyline in the paddock. Yolanda is walking back and is looking and kind of smelling like shit at that point. Yolanda is just a little hungry. Laz is watching Sophie while helping move stuff around the garage. Sophie's just kind of hanging around like an annoying teenager. Barry approaches Laz, who explains what happened in the bus. Barry wants to take the engine out of the bus. Bjorn feels a twitch as he looks at the back of the paddock. Feels a pang. Seems to feel like he's being pulled somewhere. Feels a taste of blood on his tongue and sees a flash of something happening in the distance. He's disgusted by his cravings. Sorth goes to ask Sophie what she can make of the map. She recognizes it as a map of the museum, and Sorth asks if she can take them to it. She says she can, and then Sorth walks off. Sorth goes to talk with Bjorn, who is puking in the corner after his cravings. They compare their maps and decide to tell the rest of the crew. Bjorn inspects the sword that he found. He can't tell anything about it. Goes to find a glove to protect his hand from the cold from the sword. The Vizier is thinking about getting food for everyone. Yolanda is making his way back towards the paddock, and he ran past the guards out front. The Vizier wants someone to look into what's going on out there. Ryan is keeping watch and sees what is coming. He does not know who Yolanda is and sees this crazy thing coming in. He starts to follow Yolanda, and the guards are also still chasing. Bjorn shoots Yolanda and hits with his first shot. Takes a second shot and hits. Orion takes a shot with his hunting rifle and misses. Bjorn gets a headache and feels a pull towards a door. He sees Yolanda and tried to give him a healing word. Why? We don't know. Laz surprises Yolanda and laces him up, and Yolanda is dead. Dead again. We now recognize Yolanda after Laz cut him in half. Trying to figure out what the hell he is. Orion walks into frame, performs a coup de grace, mentions there are more of these things in the city. The scarabs are the ones that are making these things. Explains that they have the Pasha hidden somewhere underground. The sewers are trapped, but there is a way to get there. Orion is going to talk with the spirit of the bus. He asks it why it wants to take over the bus. He challenges it, and it smites him with a flaming bolt for 9 damage. Orion tries to man up through it, though, despite getting hurt. The spirit asks what we seek. They say they need it to be laid to rest. Wants to protect Sophie, and mentioned that the city was taken from the city, safe from the city. Orion makes a trade. We'll help the city if the Sophie and if he races for us. The spirit is angry that they would want to continue to do the race. Orion tries to BS the spirit about how Rick died and succeeds. Ricardo, that being. Laz looks away and then back and sees that Sophie is missing, and he's pissed off again. Bjorn sees her outside down the block. Bjorn and Laz take off after her. Sorth just stays at the paddock, and Orion comes out of the vehicle to hear what happened. Mo is handed along, shifting over to Mo, is handed along, and short swords which are glowing. He is graduating as a scarab. The graduates will be helping to defend the last step of their plan. All the graduates get up into a cart and they travel down into the city. No one really messes with them when they come through. The wagon comes to a stop in front of a 3-story wide long building, leading to a hatch and a stairway into the ground where there's a narrow hall. Looking over a balcony, we see several strange hulking things down below with limbs every now and then. Everyone there has a scarab amulet, which has a +1 AC to it. We hear laughter among the crates that are down there. Hear some humanoid figures realize they're getting picked up. We run into a tiefling, Croman, who says his master is waiting for them. The master is Strocius, so that's all dealing with Mo. Back to the garage. They're taking the Tornado. Barry is driving. They go around the corner but can't find Sophie. They haven't seen Sophie yet. Laz and Bjorn catch a glimpse of her, making her way to the gateway. Bjorn calls for ice fog. Sophie crit fails, and Orion sends up a flare to warn the travelers. Laz rushes to catch Sophie. She says she isn't going back. Bjorn follows behind Laz. The Tornado pulls unseen and cuts off where Sophie was headed. Sophie is talking with Orion. She's restrained. She just wants out, and Laz is just fed up at this point and doesn't want to hear it.
And that's about the size of it.
That's what I got.
Right on. It's been about half an hour since the bus incident. The spirit, cooling its heels with the bus, looks over towards you guys as Sophie, still a bit frantic from her experience in the bus, looks over towards you all. As you regard one another for the moment, The vizier looks at Bjorn, and as he observes upon Yolandu, he seems to be calculating something. And with that, he asks that Bjorn join him as they head into town, and that the rest of you should go ahead and get the Pasha as quickly as you can. Sophie looks around the whole of the garage space, looking at each of you for the moment, very tensely, unsure of what to make of the circumstances. What do each of you do?
Laz is just tired of her getting away and is really just concentrated on keeping her from pulling a disappearing trick again. There's just been too much of this.
I'm gonna bring a rope over and kind of hold it out for somebody to grab and tie her up.
Okay.
I start decaying.
You what now? You start decaying.
I'm starting that decomposition cycle. I'm killing one with the dirt again.
That's fair. It takes a little while, but the whole of the flesh congeals very quickly. Kind of like, I'm trying to think of that sort of accelerated footage of meat being eaten in the wild, like how it just disappears from whatever ants or bugs or etc. So it vanishes pretty quick. But sorry, to recap there, what's Sorth doing?
Sorth is actually just gonna fill up his quiver for what arrows he's gonna take on his journey.
Okay, sounds good. Laz, what are you doing?
Laz is just monitoring what's going on here.
All right, and Barium?
Barium's, pretty much doing the same as Laz, but he's going to jokingly say to Sophie,
we're not such a bad group once you get to know us.
She looks over at you, and while a moment ago she had kind of a wild look in her eyes, she seems to relax slightly as the sassy side of her takes over. She doesn't say anything, but it seems like you might have gotten through to her a bit. And Orion.
Think of us like the family that you never had. Only the annoying kind that doesn't leave you alone and constantly tells you what to do and restrains you from living your life for now.
She, having bent slightly, looks over towards you and says, so like my family that I had.
Yes! That's right. Yes.
She kicks the dirt slightly and looks around the room before saying, what are we doing? Why keep me here? Why keep my father trapped, or this memory of him trapped in your bus?
Well, you see, we need your father's spirit to perform a deed for us.
Very good.
And that deed is to win the Great Waste.
Fine. He will live out his fate. And myself, what is to become of me? I am here.
We are simply to keep you safe, my dear. There's nothing more. That is all we have agreed to. Your father is very concerned with you leaving on your own at this time.
She simply says sternly, that is not my father.
Oh. He certainly seemed like it.
It is but
Oh, but he is.
a figment of him. He is not my father. My father is dead. My father is gone. That is not his spirit. It is an echo of him. It is an imprint. It is terrible. But it is not him. A shade of him, perhaps, but not him.
Listen, we just need you to play along for a little while, alright? We'll keep you safe. That is the main thing. We're not
And
going to harm you.
What happens to you really depends on how you act from here on out.
The mechanic mechanics come around the bus for a moment, giving you the thumbs up. One of them throwing a rag off, the other hefting a wrench as he heads over towards the Phoenix. The others set upon the open toolbox near it and start to bang out the dents and whatnot. Or continue, rather. So what's everyone doing?
I think at this point, Sorth is ready to go and go find the Pasha.
And Barium's gonna do, last minute check over with the mechanics, just to see how they were doing, what they were doing, and then he's pretty much ready to go on.
You look over. Yeah.
Oh no, continue, Bearsome.
I was just gonna say, you can see that they must have just done a once over. She's topped up. She's ready to rock and roll. She's ready to roll out.
Did we ever end up getting food or eating? I mean, we were trying to do that right before everything went to hell, right?
As you think this to yourself, Laz, your stomach gives that traditional inside you. Slight roar that it is. At this point, you could eat just about anything.
Yeah, I'll ask Orion to keep an eye on Sophie and grab a bite to eat while everyone's kind of figuring their stuff out. I know the Vizier was getting us to where we were going, or encouraging us to go find the Pasha. We were thinking about doing this, right? Do we have some maps or something we had to look over?
As it happens, one of you has been diligent in his time away.
Yeah, that's me, right?
That would be you, yeah. You happen to have, from your contacts that you were conducting some contacting with, you managed to secure word of and a map to where the Undercroft's old entryway sits. However, they said that there's many strange locking mechanisms and traps laden there to take down old things that would live in the sewers once upon a time. But that's not a problem anymore since they sealed that portal. Anyhow,
yeah, totally. Not an issue.
Totally not an issue anymore. Totally okay. Of course, there's like a moment during that interaction, I'm sure, where the guy's like, yeah, ever since they sealed that portal, things have been quiet.
Yeah.
And like that zoom in on Orion's face. So in any event, that happened. And also for, if you want to roll me investigation real quick, actually, let's go with that. It's going to be 15 or better.
7.
The fellow says, normally I'd have a keymaster in town that could print you keys for this, but as it happens, I only have this one. I'm sorry, but I have the molds, so when he's in town, I can get them for you. When did you need to get them by? And you tell him, and he's like, oh yeah, he probably won't be around for like 2 months.
That doesn't help.
So he gives you one key, and that is, he says, to the main gate of the place. And he says, at least it should be, unless they rekeyed it.
Okay. I'll go on a long tangent to Laz about this tale of me finding the map and the key and finding out the locksmith won't be around for a couple months and yada yada yada, and the old dead things that are in there. And yeah. I'll leave him at that.
As like in between, like just stuffing his mouth. Is there? Well, aren't you like a thief? Do we really need keys with you around?
Well, I mean, I'm a pirate, but it's sort of the same thing. Except I don't steal things, I plunder things. But yeah.
Are all the chests that you find in the ocean just open all the time?
No, that is a good point. I have some experience with some locks, and just tick, tick.
Wait a minute.
Worst case
You're a
scenario,
pirate.
you just shoot it. Of course, but privateer. I was not a pirate.
Darth wants to walk by and go,
Mongrel.
"Where's your boat?"
I told you this story at least 100 times, Sorth. It's sunk at sea, all right?
Not a good pirate, then.
The Kraken's wrath was taken down at sea.
Question
This
number
ship is
B.
right here.
Given all these dead things, do we need anything for the dead things?
They said they're old and it's been pretty quiet. There's probably nothing down there to worry about.
I feel like we should probably talk to a priest or something. Dead things don't tend to
help anybody.
die again.
We can do whatever you want, Laz. I'm just saying. They said it's been pretty quiet, and I mean, old things in the sewer probably make a lot of noise over time, and if they haven't heard anything.
Where is Barry?
He's there.
Is
He's hanging out
Barry
right
there?
here.
Like, literally, if Barry's not within earshot, it's walking over and you're like, have you heard this shit?
No, I'm literally standing right next to you.
Well, like, all right, Barry, what do you think of this crap?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out when the hell Orion was a pirate.
What? None of you have really listened to me at all. And it makes me sad.
Barry, I'm just gonna pat him on the head and just have a laugh at his expense.
The camera pans against each of you. Sophie rolling her eyes as she stares at the bus, where the glowing figure stares back, situated on the roof of the van now.
Did you tie Sophie up, Laz?
You tied Sophie up.
I did? Oh, okay.
Didn't you say you were taking rope over to tie her up?
I was holding it out for somebody else to do it because I'm tiny.
She looks over towards you guys, her hands very much untied as she just sits on one of the crates and gives a shrug and says, "Well, I'm not going to risk running out into the city with all the creatures, the Navy, and the rebels in the streets. So, don't you worry. Earlier, I was just trying to find a place to go to the bathroom."
Sure.
Oh,
There's a nice dirt pile right there.
Oh, trust me. I've already taken care of it. Thank you, Lizard.
if you ever need a toilet seat, just let me know. I'll bend over. You can sit on me. And
Oh, are you sure you wouldn't just open your mouth? Honestly, what are we doing?
maybe. I won't deny it.
She gets off of the crate and just struts around. Your boss, he is where? What do you do?
Actually, can I see Bjorn anywhere, or is he just gone?
Bjorn and the Vizier took off. The Vizier
Okay.
clearly concerned.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have to put Bjorn down. Good.
Possibly. It remains
Eats the
to be
Vizier
seen.
and comes back.
I'll have to hit up my magic 8-ball to find out where the story's going. So, with that said,
All right, Barry, let's get this thing rolling. Let's move into town. Ready?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Everyone in, let's go.
Yeah. So it's just gonna hop on top of. Are we on the battle bus now? Is that
are you guys getting on the bus?
Which one are we getting
if
into?
it's alive, I'd like to.
I mean,
think
you,
so.
you could.
I'll hop in the race car. Orion, I swear, if these dead things don't die when I hit them with my axe, you're gonna be the one I'm throwing at them.
Oh, I guess
Actually,
I
yeah,
should
no.
have started the other soundboard here.
You
Totally
didn't
didn't.
specify they were dead things. You just said they were very old things. They came through a portal or something. I don't know. They
You
sealed
came
something
through a
off.
portal.
I don't know. Listen, this guy he's shady. You shouldn't even trust him. Who knows? These are just old folk tales. All we know is just a bunch of rats down there.
Was this shady guy Slim?
Quite. Yes. He was the real slim, shady guy.
That's it. This has gone off the rails.
Alright, so as I understand it, you guys are.
Wait, are we taking the bus or the car?
Well, I mean,
Which
Alright,
one will
well,
kill us?
Is there any guards here to protect the car, just in case?
The camera pans over against the mechanics in the corner. Womp.
Okay, well.
The one's holding a wrench, trying to look angry. It's kind of wiry. It's muscled in the shoulders and the wrists.
I think the spirit can take care of itself, considering we'll have Sophie with us.
Sophie stays, says the
Oh,
spirit
shit.
after a moment. It flickers into flames, little ribbons of them, as it dissipates and appears down below. You would risk to take her into danger. For what?
If we don't take her, then we can't protect her.
I can protect her, as you say.
Very well. God damn it.
Be our guest.
As Sophie looks over towards you with wide eyes, she kind of shakes her head as she's walking away towards the spirit. That at this point is walking backwards itself, as any man might, and walking back towards the van a moment later, twisting on its heel of fire and flame. Stepping off, it dissipates a moment later, disappearing, you assume, into the van. The door, you hear, opens up on the other side as Sophie just looks at it and then looks back at the lot of you.
Very.
Yes.
Perhaps we should have the crew remove the wheels so that it is immobilized while we are gone.
Sophie looks at you and says, "Do you think that would be smart? What do you think it would do if you tried to vandalize it?"
Not vandalized, we're just changing the tires. And the tires are. It looks a little worn on the back rear there.
The camera pans against the lot of you.
You heard the captain.
I'd like to bring over a bottle of whatever liquor we have in the camp. Bring it over to Sophie, and then give her Rico's jacket that's on the back seat of the bus as like a, I don't know, like a sorry gift.
As you hold it forth, you notice it's covered in ash and soot from the last time that the fire elemental went off angry. But as you pick it up and notice that everything drips away from it, the whole of the jacket, fire resistant as it is more or less unscathed. A couple scrapes or rubs, a little bit of a tear. The pocket's got a hole in it still, but it's in otherwise terrific shape, despite the fireballs that have gone off. And as you hand it to Sophie, she simply looks at it, unsure of what to make of it at first, and then suddenly it hits her what it is. In the moment that passes, you watch as she is once again ridden with a range of emotions that wash across the poor thing. After a moment, she recollects herself and accepts the jacket graciously with a slight thank you. And putting it on herself, she regards the length of the sleeves as it droops a little far in the wrists, but otherwise fits her.
I think it looks great. We'll be back soon. Keep your head on straight and stay out of trouble. We only want the best for you. That's what it comes down to. And yeah.
She steps back as you're saying this, looking at the bus on the passenger side and then following around to the rear, walking towards the hatch as it's opened for her. Stepping inside, the door closes. The bus stays immobile. It doesn't go anywhere.
How far can that fire person go from this vehicle?
You're not sure.
I'm gonna exit and head towards the bus, the rest of the crew.
But I mean, the fire person can drive the bus, so invariably, if it wanted to go further than it could walk away from the bus, it could always just drive the bus.
If it wasn't unblocked and we didn't walk away with it.
Yeah, if it wasn't on blocks. Did you guys actually throw it up on blocks?
I'm leaving that up to the mechanic.
All right, the mechanics look at one another and they look to bury him for the moment. The bus doesn't go anywhere as you guys watch. Sophie actually climbs out the top hatch of the van and sits on the roof of it. The mechanized spirit, a moment later, puffs in and sits across from her on the other side of the bus. Camera pans against a lot of you guys inside the garage bay, the sun high and waning through the day.
You guys better take the wheels off the bus.
The mechanics look at you, and one of them with the wrench in hand gives you a bit of a salute. And with that, you guys what?
I mean, Laz will help lift and get these things off the bus.
Was this
Other
just
than
gonna
that, I think we're kind of prepared to go, right?
Yep.
Once
Yeah,
the
so
bus is immobile, couldn't we take Sophie with us? Do we want her with us, or we trust her to sit here and not disappear, or put the wheels back on the bus? Or... I just don't have a lot of trust for Sophie.
Well, you could
You
you
don't?
could hog tie her and leave her on the.
You don't trust Sophie?
Well, I also don't want to leave her here to be eaten by other things. Like, if you're gonna leave her here, you got to leave her so she can defend herself.
The camera pans against a lot of you
cares?
guys as you guys are debating all of this, and Sophie simply stares at you the whole time. The fiery flaming elemental doesn't regard you at all. Its back is to you as it's looking out the corner of the garage bay, not really saying anything, just flickering and occasionally flaring as a campfire in humanoid form. Sophie eventually pipes up, "What are you all talking about? No one is going anywhere. We're safest here for now. There is too much activity in the streets. My father, I suppose, for all intents and purposes now, huh? He knows this." And she stares down towards you guys, just kind of matter-of-factly, and the mechanics, one after the next, look over towards Barium for like a confirmation. One of them, "Do we take the wheels, boss?" Sophie rolls her eyes and lays back on the roof of the van.
Oh, do you boys trust her?
One of them spits on the ground. None of them say anything.
Exactly, take the wheels off.
Okay, boss. We'll take him off. They start to collect the jacks together and set to work on the bus. The spirit doesn't do anything.
So, we're leaving the bus here. We're leaving her here, and we're gonna go wander out into the city.
Yep. Wait, can we take the car?
I'm gonna try and pack all of us in there.
Can it
Yeah,
fit
sort-
4 of us?
Source will sit on the trunk.
Probably fit in the trunk.
Yeah. Orion, you can sit on her lap.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to sit on Barry's lap in the driver's seat with my hands on the wheel.
Oh my
You
god.
want to talk about the first thing that pops up?
As long as there's presents
What?
involved, right? So, with that said,
Is that a sawed off in your pocket, or are you just happy to?
Both.
So the bus is on blocks. We're getting into the car. Are we taking Sophie now or not? Because if we're
Nope.
going away, we're leaving her.
We're leaving her.
Honestly, I don't
risky.
care if she lives or dies.
Yeah,
I think she's safer with her father.
Feelings mutual. Lizard, feelings mutual. Alright, sorry, I'll be right back, guys.
Wasn't she supposed to help us like look through something? If I remember back in the notes, like she knew where a museum was supposed to be leading north somewhere.
We all know where the museum is now. Well, I at least know where it is, apparently.
My informant told
Yeah.
me where an entrance is, so we're good.
And it's not big enough for us to take the bus down there, so there's no point in doing that. We're not worried about.
We just took the wheels off the bus anyway, didn't we? It'd be really weird to be like, "Hey, mechanics, put them back on."
Well, no. I'm just trying to understand the whole perspective of like what we're trying to do. Like that'll keep her. She has no tie to this bus, at all. So I guess we just leave her. All right.
You know what would be funny? If Mo just showed up at the house and absolutely blew up your truck again while you were
Honestly.
gone.
Yeah, it just sets fire to the inside all over again.
You'd be asking for war.
There's nothing in there
Lord.
now. You already toasted all my meat. You savages.
That was the one good thing Mo did.
The one good thing.
Danner got eaten by bugs because of that.
Arium, you know you don't mean that.
At least cook it.
That ruins the flavor.
I don't know what I just walked in on.
Gives it the flavor.
Alright. Sorry, where are we? You guys are leaving the bus and Sophie behind and getting yourself set up in the Phoenix. And so it is. I'm assuming you guys head out.
Yes.
sir.
All right,
Yes.
very good then. With that,
Who's driving?
Barry.
There's the driver.
Damn right I am.
with that, you guys head off. The Phoenix sounding ever so familiar, and yet it's very different. You're so much lower to the ground. Everything feels so much faster. There's a lot more dirt and dust kicking up all around you. Visibility's decent. And as you head out into the streets, all around you, you see destruction. All around you, you can see all sorts of terrible things. Bodies, destruction, holes, destroyed buildings, spillage of who's to say what sort of what, be it casks and kegs of ale and wine, or perhaps riches left to collect dust and sand, even coinage ignored. Simple foodstuffs, clothings, billowing in the winds, and weapons, broken, whole, armors, littering all around. Eventually you strike areas of clear streets where the violence hasn't touched miraculously, for whatever reason, much as a fire might leave a tree unscathed. But all around you, you can feel tension, and in the distance, despite the low rumble of the engine filling the cabin, you can hear the cacophonies of violence, pits of it all around the city. As you come upon a large intersection made of a bit of a courtyard that shows roads leading off in 3 different directions from the one you're coming in upon. And as you see them leading off forward and legging off to the left slightly, one heading off to the left. You guys are headed for the city center, which is supposed to be yonder. Heading right. Last you checked is not where you want to go, but you can consult your map as you're heading in towards this intersection, of course. Point being, though, is you're supposed to be heading leftwards. There's 2 roads going. There's directly left, and then there's kind of like slow meandering left, but more like straight ahead, if that makes sense.
Who's got the map?
Can I check the map?
You may. Do you have survival?
As in proficiency in it? Or
Yeah.
just in general?
Proficiency.
Yes.
Hit it. You don't require it, but I'm interested in it. And 15 or better. You know what? We'll make it 12 or better.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh, fantastic. You actually glance at it, and out of everything, it's like just knowing where the puzzle piece goes, but in reverse. You immediately see the little set of streets and pointed out on the map. And what you're surprised to see is that as you trace your finger, heading to the right, loops up and around in a large crescent to your destination. And is known as the Royal Crescent, apparently. And looking to the left, you see there's a tunnel, and the road ahead is just the road ahead, but twists about a little bit and has a toll booth on the way, or what are the fucking H towers called that you go through? That said, though, yeah.
I'm going to relay this to Barium, the driver. But I'm just going to point him the most direct route.
With buildings on the left and the right, you're in a bit of a, as you might imagine, alley of buildings on either side. The street is relatively wide compared to the vehicle, being made for multiple wagons to be able to pass one another. And as you're weaving back and forth through whatever violence that has been left behind, whatever scraps have been left behind by the violence that has waved its way through, you come to the intersection. Which direction are you ended up going? Are you going left, straight ahead, or to the right?
To the right.
Who's driving?
Barium.
You go right?
I don't trust this lizard to drive.
But he's navigating, so are you going right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going where he's navigating.
As you turn the wheels towards, you look past your companions out the window, and you see ahead of you the large gate that blocks off the royal way, the Royal Crescent here. And as you sight upon the sign and see the gate tower nearby, you can see a corpse just kind of hanging out the side of it, but the gate's still closed. It looks like whatever violence passed through here just did whatever it needed to and moved on. The gate's still very shut. The tower's about 3 stories up. The gate, as you hang on a sec, where is it here? I can never find the engine sound for shutting it down. Anyway, as you turn off the engine, looking over towards the gate, you guys regard that it is very closed and very large. The gate, as I said, was 2 stories and the tower is 3. The buildings around range. You're in kind of a castle-in district where there's a lot of military buildings.
I pop out and check the gate.
From what we see, does it look deserted? Like you said?
It looks, it doesn't look super friendly around here, but then there's no activity. So as you guys pan about, looking in this direction and that, you don't detect any immediate danger, although it's certainly, again, like I say, not the most scenic route. Or rather, I guess it is very scenic, just not exactly... It's very macabre. A lot of dead things. Where's my fucking intrigue? I don't know why Spotify can't have their shit organized alphabetically, or why they can't provide that as an option. It's just, tell ya.
Hey, lass, can you open the gate?
That's what I was trying to get out to. Yeah, I'd like to get out and make my way to the gate to see if it's open or if it's locked. But definitely on high alert, given how creepy things are, and that we know that whatever we've seen come off the road is been pretty nasty out there. Hence, our former teammate.
All right. A lot of you guys, one after the next, emerge from the Phoenix. And as you look about the sun-dried landscape, terracotta patterns of all the brick leading up towards the sky being as clear as it is, offering a nice contrast blue when you really look at it, feels kind of relieving amidst all this violence and terrible shit. Yeah, Ricky. In Toronto. Or somewhere in Ontario. I'm pretty sure he's still in Toronto. Yeah, he bought a place in Toronto. He has a place. He just paid off his place in Toronto. And congratulations again on that. Anyway, man, Rosie shows up and the chat just lights up. Thank you for your service, citizen. Anyway, as you guys stare about the scene, the camera does kind of a 180 around you guys all, showing the whole of the scene, desolate as it is, despite all the bodies that are littered about the space. Nothing moves save for sand billowing in the wind. You stare up towards the tower. You look at the walls of the various buildings around. They've got windows, sills, balconies, standard lot. It's scalable. They've got some military entrapments like spikes on walls and balcony edges and whatnot, but if you're careful, you can get around. And judging from the number of bodies around the place, doesn't seem like anybody's going to be harassing you or asking you to stop climbing. That is, if you want to climb. There might be another way through.
Is the gate locked?
Well, it's not open and it's huge. So judging from things, as you look upon, you can see there's ropes attached to the top corners of it, showing that the gatehouse clearly opens it up somehow. Watching where the ropes go, you can see there's timbers and such, and you can see there's a gear pulley sort of arrangement framed in some wood.
Let's go.
Yonder on top of the tower.
All right, well, let's investigate around to see which way to get in.
And with that said, you guys move forth upon the gate. Sorth, why don't you tell me what you do?
Sorth is going to inspect the wall with the spikes and see if he can kind of decide a path up into the tower by climbing.
As you focus your eyes upon the wall there, it looks like you could probably ascend this pretty easily compared to some of the walls that you've ascended. The bricks on it are pretty uneven, weathered from sand.
All right, then we're going to try.
And
Trust
with
my
that,
wizardly instincts.
you make your way up the wall with an athletics check if you could.
Ooh, almost dirty. 11. Was it
Hugs all the
2
way.
at first?
Cheers. With that, you begin your ascension. To your dismay, you find that this shit is crumbling sandstone that it is. You start to take it a bit easy as you climb up, taking it careful. You still manage to find path, but you find that you're not making speedy progress up the wall here. Despite all this, the point being, you're still climbing. As the camera pans against the lot of you watching Sorth make his way slowly up the wall, leaving crumbles raining down, Laz, what do you do?
I was investigating to see if there's any other way into the guardhouse.
You look upon the open doorways around.
Windows.
You look upon the open doorways around the courtyard, specifically surrounding the gate here. Of course, there's a large towering sort of. There's a large towering brick building situated next to the where the gate closes. It has a sign placard that's been broken off and smashed into the dirt. Inside, you can see through a broken large bay window, you can see mannequins littered amongst the bodies as your eyes focus in upon, and you see bolts of cloth stained with blood and gore, but otherwise silken, velour, gilded. Looks like somebody was angry at the rich people. Point being is you inspect upon this first bay window, your eyes widen slightly as you then squint to focus through the dark and see at the back an open window. And what's more, as you continue to walk to the left and the right, you can see more open windows. It seems that this building goes all the way through to the other side. At least this particular space. As you look through another one off beside it, you can see that particular space, it looks like that was a shoemaker of some sort. They left him alone. I guess everyone likes shoes. But looking through that bay window, you don't see any open windows, oddly enough. Which begs the question, did somebody know what they were going after? But then Lars wouldn't incite this. He's not that smart, really.
Nope, Laz was just going to point out to...
Hey guys, light!
All right, but yeah. Hey guys, I think we can get through.
Is it, does our journey end here then in the vehicle? Do we take on foot?
I think we have to.
Or open the gate from the other side.
Oh, yes. Well, Laz is a thinker. Good job, Laz. Do you need our help with that, or I just got back from death. A little tired over here. Can use a nap.
So then you're familiar, and I'll grab Orion by the back of his neck and start kind of frog motion him towards the door. I do want to grab that placard though and see what it says down there.
As you pick it up, you pick up the one that has like writing small enough. It says tailoring Anne, and you eventually find like the other two pieces here. The bottom says customs, and the top says Villavs.
Maybe you can get some new clothes while you're in there, and I just give him a shove towards the door.
I'll just turn back to him with a smirk as I'm enjoying the friendly confrontation.
That sounds fine. He does give you the shove all the same, and staring it upon the space, you see clear. Is Ben there? I want to include him, but I don't know if he's actually there or not. Like, if he's not there, that's okay right now, but if he's there, then I'll know so I can, like, interlude. Anyway.
Good question.
Moving right on.
He's there.
Oh shit, he's multiplying. It's Strocious!
Everywhere.
Where was I going? Sorry, shit. Totally lost my train of thought here. Pardon me. Like, did I ever lose my train of thought? Dear Lord. Hang on a second. Let me backtrack up here. As I was saying, you guys make your way into the place, having given a shove to your companion, and I'm assuming following in as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to leave Orion alone, but I definitely want him to face whatever comes in there first.
Sure.
And as we are walking through, I mean, I'm definitely keeping an eye out for things, and
You guys make your way in, easily enough to arrive upon the doorway or the bay window. Which way are you going to go in? The door itself is smashed in. The bay window is completely smashed. Everything about the front facade of Villav's is completely destroyed.
I'll go through the front door, but can I proceed cautiously, like stealthily, kind of?
100%.
Keep my guard up.
Roll stealth.
Okay. I got a 17.
You easily slip into the shadowed area. As you regard the space, you do note that, jokes aside, there are a lot of fine clothes here. Villav's is a great place. Although the bolts of cloth that you saw were stained, a lot of stock sits unscathed. The counter sits with an axe hewn into it and a body strewn across it, but the many shelves of stock sit completely virgin of any damage. As you regard them, you also notice an oversized mannequin that seems to be made for large humanoids. Minotaurs, Goliaths, small giants. And upon it sits a fine jerkin made of leather and little strips of metal, and a pleasant girdle made of leather strips dangling in a traditional sort of military skirt. There's a pair of a pair of assless leather greaves that go with it.
Oh, this is definitely going in the bag for later on.
As you scoop it off, regarding each piece, one after the next, you, bagging them a moment later, are confronted with a blank mannequin. And Orion, as you stand there watching this happen, you can see that the counter still actually has the cash box bolted to it.
Okay. Could I slowly approach the cash box and see if it's open, or see if I can maybe find a key on? Is this the same counter with the body on it?
It is indeed, actually, and you can see that the body has an arrow situated in the side of its head, which is facing the wall, which is kind of odd, because he died facing forward.
Could I do an investigation or something to see if I can see any traps or anything?
100%.
Rolled a 19.
Investigation or perception, which will it be?
Perception.
As you come around or over top? Are you coming over top the counter or around the counter?
Yeah, I'll go over top the counter, like scoot around and come up over.
You hop up on top of the counter and stare over the edge and easily see a little bit of a pressure plate with a lip where the tiles in the floor meet the last few feet before the counter. You also sight upon a small switch in the wall easily enough. You think to yourself, amateur hour, or something, whatever sort of that Orion would think.
Okay, so I'm perceiving that switch activates that?
This guy's weight, his body, he's dead, but his feet are still pushing down on the pressure plate.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can I just reach over and grab the cash box from on top?
It's bolted to the counter.
Oh, it's bolted. Right. Okay.
Just a quick interruption, though. I'm assuming Barium, you're following in, and Sorth, you're following in as well?
Sorth is still climbing the tower.
Oh, sorry, that's right. You're climbing the tower. So, Barium, are you sticking with the car? Are you going up with Sorth, or are you following the group?
Following the group.
All right, sounds fine. Entering it upon, you watch, of course, what happens. And what's your passive perception? It's shit, right?
Mine?
No, sorry. Barium's.
Yeah, my perception is shit.
Right.
It's only 9.
Thank you. So with that said, not to be rude or nothing, but it is shit. It is what it is.
I'm trying my best, man.
Walking
Well,
in,
I
you
said
watch
a
as
14 if it helps.
you watch as your companions are going over the place, and that's why you noticed the thing that fit you. I mean, what can I say? Here in this dark place, it's completely decimated. Otherwise, that said, though, you walk in after your companions. You're setting the place up. Is there anything you're looking for as they're going out? They're getting dressed or they're collecting shit. I mean, you watch as Laz takes clothes and Orion starts to dig into a cash box. Are you doing anything specific, or are you just going to traverse to the other side, or what are you up to?
I think I'm just going to casually look around the room, see if I can find anything that looks worth, like it's worth taking.
All right, throw me a perception check.
13.
With a 13, you sight over the place and manage to note that there is, in fact, a bit of a secure lock on the back room door. And inciting upon this, I mean, either you can look for a key or you can invoke Orion's services, or you can try to pick it yourself. I mean, really.
Orion, do you think you could pick this lock?
And
As you look over from the
Yes,
cash box and avert your attention back to the cash box, you want to pick the lock on the cash box or test to see if the drawer opens, or look for more traps on the actual cash box itself? How about which? What would you like to do?
Hey, Barry, I could try and give you a hand. I mean, I did, open up the other one.
Laz steps in towards the door, looking at it.
I'd give it a try, big man.
I mean, I do have the tools. Now that I forgot about those last time. By the
Oh
way,
my god,
I
you
borrowed-
with your fucking luck! Holy shit! All right, let's hear what you roll.
All
Show
right,
me how it's done.
what am I rolling for this one? What's the?
This is a tool proficiency, so it's dexterity plus proficiency.
All right, here we go. Dexterity. Let's go, you bastard. So dexterity roll. Oh, not so good.
No,
It's gonna be 5 + 4, so it'll be 9.
I am disappointed, but that's okay. Laz sets to work upon it, and oh wow, that is a really dramatic lock picking. Fucking wow. Okay. That's how Laz picks a lock, right? He's just fucking yeah. Gonna fucking pick it. Anyhow, fucking
Mission
popping a
Impossible
vein.
lock.
Right? It's just exploding constantly in his face for no good reason. All right. No, not that one. I want a different track for fuck me. All right, as we were.
When I realize it isn't working, do I think this is a door that I can use my large lock pick to open?
Yeah, I mean, you're a large double header, by all means.
Yeah.
So looking upon it after a brief moment of like frustrated levering and deciding that life is too short, and that you can always learn this later, you rear back and withdrawing your axe, you kind of like size up axe door, and I mean the rule is if you take a couple steps back and you hold that axe up, if the door is smaller than the axe, you're good, right? So point being, you sight it up and it seems like the average door. You do note that it is metal banded, and although it's not solid metal, it is metal banded. So it's got some wood to it and it's got some metal. So it's not an easy takedown. But if you want to go at her, you can by all means go at her. Is your axe magical?
No, my axe is not magical. It is just an axe.
All right. With that
I would love a
said,
magical axe. Swinging away.
Mm-hmm.
Swinging away. 24, 16 plus 8. 24.
Nice work. Meanwhile, Orion, you were going to.
Well, if I can pick that lock right where I am, then I'll try that. If not, I would like to try and shove the body off the counter carefully.
You're kind of just in a position where you can, upside down and wise, leverage from the side,
Yeah, I'll try that.
All right, sounds good.
Did I just roll a dex check for that again, or is that sleight of hand?
It's effectively either, because if you're proficient, it's proficiency. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
And so, tool proficiency is just proficiency plus whatever attribute goes with it. In this case, dexterity is fine.
Okay. Uh, 17.
Terrific stuff. Easily and peasily do you manage to leverage open the lock, and satisfyingly does it clatter open. That is to say, you can hear the tumblers come apart, and a moment later the spring mechanism fires the lid just slightly ajar, but it's still a lid. Leveraging it open, I'm imagining you just like open it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It explodes. No, I'm kidding. You see a couple stacks of coinage inside, as well as a couple notes of debt, promissories. You're assuming IOUs, so to speak. You also see a pair of small rings and a small gold chain. Sorry, a robust gold chain.
Okay. I'll pocket everything except the IOUs, and I'll flip one of the coins to the dead body and say thank you.
It clatters off of him satisfyingly, landing next to him as it strikes his face and lands on the table. That said, the camera pans over to show the sudden and ever so effective. Hang on a sec. Where is it in all this? Jesus. There it is. As Laz goes through the door and steps into the other side, break on through to the other side. I should actually put that on my soundboard, shouldn't I? Like, really? Mm-hmm. Stepping into the chamber beyond, you see the small office and note a pair of chests to the left, a desk at the back, a tapestry depicting a golden and very ornate V, you assume for Viliv, and more to the point, a small cot, and finally a shelving built into the wall that seems to house many, many bottles of liquor.
Yeah, I'm going to investigate the area. The chests open, unlocked.
The chests are actually completely locked, and they're metal.
I will give it the old college tray again. You know what? Hold on.
The camera pans as you.
I'm going to call for Orion before I go and touch these ones.
All right. The camera pans against you as you shout out to Orion regarding the axe, and then shows the rest of the room again: tapestry, desk, cot, and shelving of liquor. The desk is very robust as well. The desk is very robust as well.
All right. Does an investigation turn up anything, papers or?
By all means. Do you want to roll one? Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, I would love to.
Hit me
I'll
up.
I'll check the high shelves, then Orion can check the rest.
I'll check the high shelves and you'll check the low shelves and I'll find the liquor before you.
Investigation. I'm trying to find there it is. Investigation. Sucks being stupid. There we go.
Oh, I don't know.
10.
That said, you find booze. You're like, damn, I found a bottle of booze. Orion, I found a bottle. I don't know, like however Laz would be, but literally you're looking at fancy ass bottles of booze.
Yeah.
Like, and they have fancy corks too. You can't help but regard them. I'm sorry, they have gilded mouths, and then they have little sculpted corks that have heads, cameos, and shit on them. There's weird
Let's
little
play drink
crests
the
and
booze. Yeah.
Dude, it's just what it is, Laz. I don't know. You tell me.
Yep. Having a drink and
I found another bottle of booze. Yay!
I'll play a few rounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to do so, because I'll tell you this. It is really, really tasty, fruity, spicy. This one's honey mead. This one's warm. This one tastes cold, even though it's not. Though, hang on, now it's warm in the belly. This one, holy shit, I gotta piss. You don't know how many you're in now. But anyway, you don't find too much else. You find lots of booze.
all right.
I would
Barry,
like
do you mind-
to. I'd like I'd like to enter the room after shoving all the loot in my
You're in.
satchel.
By all means. And Sorth as well.
Have I gone through a window yet?
Oh, are you making your way over towards the back area?
No, I'm still on the wall.
Oh, sorry. Sorth is still climbing. If you could throw me another
Thinking in
athletics.
Spiders.
We'll revisit you,
Spider
by the
sword.
way. I keep thinking you're in there with everybody. My apologies. It's my
Yeah,
limitations
around
as Dungeon
somewhere.
Master.
A little handout here.
I can get some attention, please.
Am I throwing athletics again?
Yes, please.
Oh man, I don't want to climb this wall. I got a nat 1.
To your dismay, you reach a point where you start to slip as sandstone breaks away in your grip. One brick after the next breaks, and you slide down all the way to the bottom, crunching in at the base, taking a total of 3 points of falling damage in the process.
Damn it.
Do we like hear him hit the floor outside the
No.
window, the big bay window?
No. You're a ways into the shop enjoying yourself. So you're actually into the office now. Point being, no.
Can I look around and see if I can see where everybody else went?
As the dust billows across the sandy waste of the courtyard, the many corpses, broken weapons, and whatnot, you see the bay window broken, the doorway open, and you see the silhouettes of your companions inside.
I'm gonna look back up at the tower I climbed and look at them and then just walk towards them.
Sounds good. You make your way in towards.
There was nothing up there.
Well, I could have told you that, so there's nothing down here either. Whatever.
Hold
Anyways.
on, and I hold up my assless chaps. Feeling slightly inebriated, like.
Wow.
Thumbs up.
Are you gonna try them on?
Hold on, we got these boxes to deal with first.
Go
Okay?
into the change room if you're going to do that. Now let me look at these boxes. Laz, would you please give them a knock with your axe? Just a little.
Yeah, Laz is gonna give him a good whack.
Just
On
make
the
sure
side,
they're okay.
not near where the lock is. Just one of those like clear on the side hits.
You give it a quick couple smacks on the side like you're trying to get the vicar to work. Nothing happens. It just dunk. The whole of the chest kind of shifts slightly as you hear shit inside jostle.
You gotta open it.
Yeah, I'll go to open it.
Orion regards it for a moment, unsure of how to approach it, and then decides to dive into it. Rolling for his lock-picking skills.
Just, stick your thing in the hole and it'll pop open.
Jostle it about a bit, that sort of thing. As
got
he's
an 8
working
plus-
away. Sorry, 8
Do I have
plus.
proficiency, you said?
You should.
Yeah, okay, so 8 plus 4, 12.
That's your total?
Yeah.
You also have dexterity. It's a dexterity check plus proficiency.
Yeah, so I had 8 on the dexterity, and then
I
plus
see.
my proficiency.
Gotcha. Okay, so 12 will do it. As the lock on the chest snaps apart, it releases the latch, and a moment later, you, I'm assuming you're lifting the lid?
I will let Laz do the honors. I'll kind of back away and present it to him.
Sounds good.
Yeah, back into the axe, kind of.
Sounds right. As you lift up the lid with your axe, leveraging it slightly, nothing billows out of it, nothing explodes. You continue to lift it up, and you see inside there's a wooden box, a flat wooden box, the length of the whole of the chest, which is fairly large. And moreover, several bolts of cloth or rolls of cloth or something. Anyhow, they're rolled up cloth. That much you can tell. There's 3 of them. They're all drab brownish. It seems as you look back and forth, and no, they're really not. As you look a little closer, you realize because of the dim light, it's hard to tell. But it looks like they're just red. A brighter red than maybe you can tell from here. In any event, that's the first box.
Can I get the wooden box inside out? Is it like locked, or is it just a wood box?
It's a wooden box in the bottom of the chest. It's like the length of, it's pretty much the size of the base of the chest. Like, it's a large wooden box. But as you lean in towards and take the rolled up cloth things off, they each present themselves to be like a tunic of sorts. It's a tunic with a bit of a robe that hangs over. So in any event, some fancy dress. And on top of that, you see a crest emblazoned, etched into the surface of the wood. It shows a rather fierce-looking crest of, you want to say, some sort of large cat. There's Ben. What up, buddy?
Finally woke up.
I was eating.
Okay, that's cool. I just wasn't sure where you were. But yeah, that said, you pull the box out easily enough. It's got some heft to it.
Okay. Let's open this thing.
It's a wooden crate in every sense. It's nailed shut. You got to pry it apart. It doesn't seem to have a clear lid, although the top of it is nailed to the boards, so you could leverage off.
Yeah, I'll take a hand axe to.
Okay. Just roll me, dexterity or strength or something. Dexterity sounds about right to get it off carefully if you care.
Sure. I will roll not a saving throw, just dexterity, right?
No, it's a dexterity check. Yeah, it's not a saving throw.
Okay, so it's 17 plus 2, and then I add on the proficiency, or so it's 19 plus 4, so 23.
You easily leverage off the top. Ring. The nails that spike it in together wrench out of their sockets. As robust and old as they are, they come apart, and with them a parchment slips out of the box and kind of to the floor like a leaf in the wind. It falls to the ground.
Too soon.
Inside, wash. Inside the box, it is, man. It'll never not be too soon. God damn it! Of all the roles, man, of all the characters, man, now I'm all heartbroken. Anyway, the parchment has the same crest that was emblazoned on the wooden box, and what you can see of it, of the crest, is in a lot more detail. It is very much a large cat. You can see whiskers in the drawing and whatnot that you can't see on the dark wood here in the dark office. But what you can see inside the box, now that you're looking, is, of all things, a large metal, of all, to your surprise, axe.
Well, I will pick up said axe.
As you look upon the parchment, you can see that it is written in runes of some fashion that you might recognize if anybody knows. Excuse me, if anybody who can see the parchment knows Dwarven.
What languages do I speak? How do I find that? Features and traits. Class features, racial traits. Nope. Feats. Nope. Where do you find your languages? I can't remember.
Oh, it's
bottom left.
Oh, there you go. Common and giant. Is giant in any way, shape, or form?
I think it is. I think it is actually similar to Orcish. Giant is similar to Orcish, if I'm not mistaken. So not Dwarven. So they share runes,
like a tall dwarf.
apparently. That all said, though, you don't recognize the language. You do recognize it as not something you recognize. Anybody else?
Can I just grab it and throw it in my pocket?
You may. You do recognize written upon it is in common amidst all the runes the word Villav. So clearly this was addressed to Villav. That said, though, you remove the axe. It is a standard-sized battle axe with a nice sheen to it. The thing is about 3 feet long with a double head.
Yeah. I'm not going to be that guy.
So, effectively, this looks like a dwarf's battle axe. So, it's stubby. And because of that, you find it oddly easier to handle, but not like a traditional swinging weapon. In any event, you'll discover if this has any bonuses as time goes. In the mean, it seems very easy to handle, and as it moves through the air, it seems to sing as it slices air itself.
I will add it to my belt to carry. Is it somewhere in between my hand axe size and my battle axe? It's like in between the two?
It's effectively, I want to say the size of your hand axe in terms of length, but it's still a battle axe. So if you imagine a dwarf will have the handle that you have at half the size. Because their torso is going to be the same size, but their legs are not so much so.
All right. So I'll put one of the rolls of cloth in my bag, and I will put this axe on my belt.
To your surprise, the design of the handle includes a convenient little latching hook of sorts that allows you to hook it onto a belt.
I'll proceed with trying to open the next chest.
As you snap it open with a dexterity check and proficiency, sleight of hand, effectively.
16.
Giving it a deft twist, it does unlock easily enough, as easily as the first, to your expertise. And with the latch release, the lid free, do you once again present it for Laz to leverage open?
Yeah.
Same thing with the long handle at the back end of the axe.
With the long handle of your other axe, we watch as you slowly open it. From inside the chest, we watch as Laz is slowly revealed the long, kind of elongated fisheye extent of a massive axe. As he lifts open the lid and peers inside, the lot of you are confronted with, of all things, a small set of lockboxes, not unlike the box that you saw on the counter. Now, the box on the counter, I meant to say, you took everything in the stacks of coin. You recognize there was a stack of like 3 platinum. So we'll cover this real quick. 3 platinum.
Yeah. 3 platinum. Okay.
20 gold.
Okay.
3 stacks of 20 silver, so 60 silver.
Okay.
And then there was a, I should have mentioned actually, you know what, I'll change it to a small pouch of coppers. We'll go with that route. And the pouch of coppers you haven't counted, but you will later, and it'll be 60 copper. Or actually, you know what? It'll be 200 copper.
200, okay. And I'll take one of the gold pieces away as the one that I flicked at the body.
Sounds fantastic.
All right. Perfect.
So with that in mind, peering into the chest, like I say, there's several of the lock boxes in there. There's also a stack of ledger-style books, and we'll say there's a dagger, a short sword, and a breastplate, all stacked in there alongside. The breastplate is dwarven size, the short sword is, and the dagger is.
Useless. Where are the tools at?
Do you think it will fit me? It's a little.
Looks too big for you.
It's a little on the thicker side.
Orion, I think you look lovely.
Don't we have a companion that's around this size of things? who's off praying somewhere?
I think isn't he human?
Is he human? I can't remember what he is.
I think he's human.
He's gone again.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
wandering around in red and white.
The
Pretty
lollipop
sure.
field. Yeah, he's human.
He is human. And the plate
The
isn't something I
sword.
could use, obviously.
Does anybody use a sword?
Well, I think he needs one. If I remember, he just picked up whatever was kind of laying around. He's been trying to put his stuff back together. He could probably use the sword and the dagger at least. I don't know if the plate's going to fit him.
Could I check out the dagger?
You can. The short sword, the dagger, the breastplate, they're all ornate. The breastplate has the same crest with the V emblazoned upon it. The short sword, just the same. The dagger as well upon the hilt. The dagger actually has, we'll say, a ruby gemstone set in the hilt that has the V carved into it.
Okay.
You're finding like gold-plated, like 9mm and shit. Like this guy has some nice-looking weapons.
Does the dwarven breastplate would that, or the armor, would it fit me? Or
It looks like it would, in fact, with a couple adjustments to the straps. And if you kind of, if you could find a blacksmith to bend in the corners, bend in the edges, customize it and custom fit it, even more so. But as it stands, it'll fit you. You could even just pad it a bit at the corners, which would be good too.
is it a heavy armor or light or
It's a breastplate. It is, I think it's considered a medium armor.
medium? Okay.
But it gives it like what I have on, right? It gives disadvantage on stealth. The
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
shitty one.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna grab the dagger and I'm gonna look at everybody in the room and go,
I will take this as my unlocking fee. You're very welcome.
As he scoops the breastplate, leaving behind the short sword and the dagger, you also note the several boxes that look like the countertop lockbox.
I scooped the dagger, by the way. I left the breastplate.
Oh, you scooped the dagger. Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Are these
yeah.
is this something that I could throw in my attached to or put in my rucksack to bring for Bjorn when we run back into him?
Yeah, 100%. The dagger, I want to say, also has a little loop in, like a trigger loop almost. The camera pans against you guys taking the bits out of the chest and crossfades. And it shows a young face looking at the several horrors in a montage that he has faced. As you see one atrocity after the next, people being melted down or people being mutated, people being turned into all sorts of strange things slowly, sometimes screaming still alive, Mo experiences a lot more than he even experienced while training with the scarabs in the central temple. Faced here with so many moral dilemmas beyond anything he would have imagined, Mo suddenly experiences pangs of fury, rage, and emotion, maybe as a release, maybe for justice, maybe for rebellion, who's to say, but Mo could. And so with that said, you find yourself in the heart of the Scarab base, amidst Strosis's plans surrounding you on all sides. As the camera pans about your face, showing your young self adorned in all the faceture that this organization has to offer, your fine armor, your bandolier of gear, and this fine weapon. And of course, the word of the Scarabs, the complete and total loyalty of all your team members upon any task that any of you should need to take on. Here at the beck of all that is, you wonder to yourself, why are you serving Strosius? Or maybe you wonder how you got so lucky. What is Mo going through?
I'm wondering how I got here. What happened to my life?
So as you look upon your companions, you think you see the same in their faces. Why are the Scarabs doing what they're doing? What's going on in this deep, dark, dank, terrible dungeon? And looking around this space, seeing the tiefling strutting about occasionally, it's gotta have been a day now of you doing what you're doing. Helping to mill a poor populace towards an unseemly fate as soldiers, demonic things, set for a purpose that you're not seeing as you send them through a portal. Where are they going? Somebody says. You're not sure who it was. And you hear a simple, towards a job like none other. But destiny and horizons bright. As Croman utters these words over, you realize things are not what you might expect them to be at all, or maybe they're worse than you could ever expect them to be. So what does Mo do? You're situated in a strange place indeed. This is an undercroft, you're told. A deep, multi-level structure beneath the museum at the heart of some city. Teshburl, they said. This is where you rode initially, and then were trucked in to be fed into these tunnels.
So, with my team, what kind of role am I, like, leader, or am I just like a grunt?
You're currently more or less a grunt. You're tasked with taking care of carrying buckets of schlop, carrying tanks with the others, occasionally having to hold large tanks as you guys carry them out of stock and into position, pushing them up into position, and then every so often there's a draw to see who has to let the beasts out. And so far you've managed to avoid getting picked. Not many survive letting the beasts out.
Oh, so as a grunt, I'm super disposable now.
It's not a good scene. Like the whole of the place is pretty gnarly. Yes, dark and violent. But that said, are you gonna try to move up the ranks, or are you gonna try to get the fuck away, or are you gonna try to take the place down, or what are you trying to do here?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to move up the ranks. You take it down. Hey,
Okay,
don't
fair
tell my
enough.
teammates though. Or
So fair.
Maybe
With that
it's
said, you lean into your duties, taking advantage of opportunities to move ahead the ladder as quickly as possible. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take a genius. You just keep doing what you got to do. And eventually people die ahead of you is what happens. For various reasons. It's never a pretty show, but it only takes about a day and a half before you find yourself as one of the team leaders. You don't even need to make a roll. It just fucking, like, seriously, just happens. That said, though, as you move yourself into a position of, you start to hear that there's going to be an opportunity to move out. Because the boss sees an opportunity. So there's a word now. You get the tiefling showing up all of a sudden in the middle of everything that's going on, and asking amongst the few of you that have shown yourselves to be devious enough, or just lucky enough, to get to the head of your crews. He asks each and every one of you in one fell group swoop if you would like to lead the charge. Two guys bow out right away, leaving you and one other.
Is there like only one group able to go, or it's just like anybody who volunteers?
Croman regards the four leaders that sit, the four pit bosses, so to speak, that sit amongst them, and say, "Any of you can go. I'm just asking which of you it's gonna be. You or him."
What do I know about leading the charge against two?
So, near as you understand it, Croman's explained that you're going to be leading dudes out into the front lines. Leading dudes upwards, outside the Undercroft to keep people at bay. We're establishing a new line of defense. And you're going to be up there on the surface, doing what's necessary.
Against two.
whoever might come upon us at Daft.
I'll gauge my my fellow team leaders' stances upon this. What are they thinking right now?
The one across from you that's wanting to take the role is also a tiefling, a red one compared to Croman's dark purple. And as he looks up from your question and simply says, "I'll take the job. I'll get it done. Trust me. This fool has no idea. I'll make sure nobody comes upon, and I'll show you a body count to prove it."
It's like role playing a bad office meeting.
I do my best, thank you. Parkour! I'm gonna grab a drink.
Well, I don't have my suit, just my tie. So for the office, this is all I got.
Okay, man.
Just for the job you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Silicon Valley awaits.
it's like a plaid. Sure.
Looks good, man.
This isn't even a real tie. And like it.
You look ready for business, bro. You're gonna nail it.
Yeah. Anyway, time for my campaign against this other tiefling.
Vote for
I'm
me.
an object. So I will be the one that should lead. I'm simply better than him. I'll just state it like a fact. You're 100% more convincing if you state everything like a fact.
You can roll me persuasion or intimidation, your choice.
Okay. I can't access D&D Beyond on this laptop. So sad.
Shit.
Alright. Let's do persuasion.
Bro, you gotta be intimidating.
Who am I intimidating? The boss?
Yeah, you gotta push your. These are evil guys. You gotta like get in there. You can't persuade them.
I got a massive bonus in persuasion. Oh, it doesn't matter because I just rolled a 3 + 7.
Can I inspire him?
You absolutely may.
I want you to. I want.
If I fail this, I die.
You're Orion, Unky Orion's voice in his head, telling him, like, come on, like, get your head in the game.
You can do it.
You'll have a flash of Unky Orion.
Alright, rolling part 2. I just. Okay, I thought I was a 1, but it was just a 7. So I got 14. My rolls are just sub 10 like all the time.
Well, it's decidedly better than your previous roll. And with that said, the fellow raises an eyebrow at this and hulks back, puffing his chest out. Croman gives you a smirk and simply says, "Oh, despite your earlier, I have to say that's quite a bit of confidence. All right. I'll give it to you." He looks over at you and then at the crew that you have at your back. You have a couple of dudes in your team.
How loyal are they to me?
You're not sure. What you incite is that they don't want to be here. They don't want to take orders. And the variable here is how desperate they are. You're not sure where they're at, but they're not running away yet. Regardless, so far nobody's stabbed you in the back, and nobody's stabbed anybody else in the back in your crew that you've heard of. So there's that at least. But it's only been a day and a half. Regardless, Croman is asking what he's asking, and he's offering it to you as a result of your fantastic persuasive ability. that confidence, that suave, that debonair. Mo gets the title. Does he take the mantle?
Yes.
And with that, Joe Rogan shows up and slaps a belt around you. No, I'm kidding. But anyway.
I'm 12.
Well, it doesn't take much in the Scarabs. It's really just, desperation. The camera pans against your faces as Croman gives you a regard and gives the other guy the nod, and the rest of everybody disperses. As you're shown the door with your crew in tow, the lot of you are brought to the surface area. As you arrive upon, you can see that there's a group of what looks to be townsfolk. Rebels, but not, if that makes any sense, that have effectively sworn themselves to whatever cause they believe that the Scarabs are leading. That being, of course, the destruction of the Great Race. With that said...
How well equipped are they?
Some of them have swords. Some of them have knives that they sourced, really big ones from butcher places. Other ones have cudgels, clubs, chair legs, table legs. One fellow's got... I'm just trying to think of the most ridiculous thing. One guy, I don't know, whatever. A length of chain made out of horseshoes that he's linked together. And at the head of it is a bunch of doll heads, I guess. I don't know. A large, weird horseshoe flail with doll heads. It's the strangest thing I can come up with.
I thought you were describing a horseshoe thong.
Let's go with that. Yeah, it's a horseshoe thong for a giant that he fights with. Anyway, so... That said, he gets in there. You get in there with your crew. See these civilians that are, sworn to the cause. So you guys have rebels, right? And it's your job, effectively, to keep the place clear of military and other folks who want to interlope upon you. And with that said, you guys scooch forth into the surface area, the rubble, the destruction, the whatnot that is the landscape, the war-torn landscape of Teshburl. The area surrounding the museum is, well, it's filled with rubble. It's filled with bodies. It's stained with rivers of streaking gore. There's a few vehicle platforms, and of all things that get you probably the worst that you hadn't heard before, there's the sudden cry of a very large and loud lizard, worm, something. You're not exactly sure what to make of it, but it is loud. And it is huge. As you...
It's definitely organic, right? It's just not a weird car.
As you look up towards the sky, you see the massive black figure. Its humongous wingspan spread apart as it surveys the land, looking for something. Probably you. Probably where you are.
Do I have my team with me?
Your team is with you. They look up towards, as the thing flies away. They look towards you for instructions. You have 5 men. Their races are up to you. Their classes are all foot soldier, after a fashion, NPCs. They all have a meager +5 to their attack roll.
Oh my. Do I have to make their character sheets, or?
Nope. They each have 40 hit points. You can give them names as you will, names and races as you like. It doesn't really affect too much, but point being.
Let's name them Sorth, Laz, Orion, and Burial. No last name, it's just the first name.
So is Is it just Team Slob?
As the camera pans against the lot of you surveying the horizon, it then does the classic Lucas wipe and shows us our race team, intrepid as they are. I'm assuming
Hello,
at this
guys.
point you've
I'm so gonna kill you. No offense.
you guys are making your way out of the garage bay, yeah?
Like out of the store, you mean?
Or sorry, yeah, out of my god, out of the tailor store. You guys are headed
did we
towards
get
the museum.
Did we get everything out of that chest? Just to confirm, you got all the lockboxes.
Oh, you guys
and
didn't
everything?
go through all the lock boxes, I guess. Sorry, my bad. Did you guys want to go through all those? I'm assuming so.
Of course.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Um,
Do I need to pick them or?
Some of them are empty, some of them are full. The ones that are full, some of them are locked, and some of them are not. So, it's we'll say there's 6 lock boxes, 2 of which are empty, 4 of which are full, 2 of which are locked, and 2 of which are not. As you unlock the various boxes with your various rolls, the others are going through the existing boxes, and they're a mishmash of coinage. One way or the other, you guys will get these things open, be it by smashing it or whatnot. But that said, if you want to make your rolls,
Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 and then an 18.
you know what? With the nat
Plus-
20, they both fall open out of obligation. You can like just reach for your tools and be like, no, really, it's okay. With that said, though, you get them open. All told, there's 200 gold, 100 platinum. There
No
is
chance.
there is
We're rich.
1,200 silver,
Okay.
and we'll say there's 700 copper.
More of those assless chaps made some real money.
Oh yeah. And we're splitting this 4 ways?
Yes.
That's not bad.
As long as we don't tell the others.
Well, you're split it as you guys see fit. I don't really give
Let's
a I just
split it.
work here.
Us 4, just keep it between us. Bjorn doesn't need to know. Consider it risk payment, hazard pay for what we're doing right now.
What's the split?
It'd be 25 platinum each, 50 gold each. How much silver was there?
Sorry, guys. Was that?
How much silver was there?
1,200.
1,200, so 300 each, and 700 copper. I'll just take 100 of it, and you guys can split the other 200.
Groovy.
Healing potions, here I come.
They can
Just
make
lick
decent
your
donations
wounds.
now.
How much were we each getting?
25 platinum, 50 gold,
Camera pans against Mo since everybody else is
300
greedy and
silver,
not paying attention.
200
Just
copper.
carry on, I guess. There's villagers who are eloping. They're not rebels. They're attacking. Does Mo and his crew kill them? Moral decision. Or do you rout them? Do you knock them out?
Can I determine how? Can I determine like their
Or are you
their
trying to convert
identities?
them?
Like, maybe is there anybody special, or are they just like grunts?
They're just like random people who are angry. It looks like maybe that guy's a store owner.
Okay. I'll just leave them naked and tied up in the mud.
All right, sounds good.
Just taking all their stuff and their clothes. Yeah, just I'm gonna put them in the dirt.
Your crew
They're
regards
not
you.
dead. They're just really, really beat up.
One of your crew asks you, should we not kill them? They tried to attack. They tried to invade. Should we not kill them? Is this enough?
Do you step on ants?
He gives a shrug at this. There's apathy in as much as there's inquiry. And
Their
that's
deaths
that.
would do us nothing, and their living would do us nothing either. Just leave them in the mud.
The rest of the crew seems to agree as you guys walk along. With that said, you guys find yourselves once again, coming out of the office, or is there anything else you guys want to do? There's still the desk, the cot, the liquors. Well, you guys have drank a bunch, but whatever.
Sipped.
Damn it. Source is feeling bad. He wants to.
Okay, well,
try
I've
to
drank
calm
a
that
bunch.
down.
I mean, I just want company. Like, really now. I guess that's what it is.
I mean, I think Laz would still be confused by how the room was locked. Well,
Is Barium doing anything during all this? The camera just kind of pans against you as you're standing there. Everything going on all around you as what are you thinking about? Yeah, I imagine he's just zoned out, like, unless you are doing something specific.
Thinking about that booze. Thinking about getting a drink.
Alright, fair enough. You're several drinks in then. Now what?
Well, there isn't much for Barium to do here, is there? Because he's not a lock picker. None of the loot besides the money that we divvied out really meant much to him. So probably trying to explore, to see if there's anything else in the shop, or if not, then making his way out.
You walk out into the shop and look about. There's several varied clothes on the mannequins. There's a rather robust looking uniform that almost looks like it would fit you. It's a robust thing with a sort of blue velour top tunic that has gilded edges to it. Pricey looking thing. It's got a bit of a stain on the shoulder where some blood's got onto it. It's near the back of the store where you can see out the windows into the street beyond. With the waning sun, there's quite a bit of dark blue shadow all around, but you can still see plainly the rubble and bodies that litter the street beyond. Actually, sorry. Hang on. No. My apologies. You can note the lack of bodies and destruction on the street beyond.
I'm gonna take it off the mannequin, take a good look at it, see if it's something that would actually fit.
The jacket slips off the mannequin, and we watch a moment of montage as Barium gets the jacket onto his body. Somewhat, although you can feel that the armor that you have on is a bit of an issue. Seems like something you could wear to a party, but your armor's in the way.
So this is more for like more for show than practical use.
Indeedy doody. It looks like a surcoat. It's a surcoat is what it is.
Would I be able to estimate if it would fit?
You guess it would, literally. You guess it would, save for the fact you have armor on. Like if you were going to a ball, you'd wear this.
All right.
Take off your clothes.
No, Barium's gonna pack it away.
All right, sounds good. You pack it all up. You get a little bit of a uniform there. It comes with leggings and such. You're not sure if it'll fit you or not, but it's a pretty robust little uniform.
It's a good thing I don't have a tail to get in the way.
Right?
nothing scissors in a hole can't fix.
No joke.
Do we
Dragonborn.
find anything else in the desk or anything else in the room?
Hey, that's an excellent question, my man, with several degrees more perception than some. You see that desk, and there's nothing on top of it save for a candle and a small statue. At least I would call it a statue. It actually just looks like a lump of rock, I want to say.
And so there's a candle and a lump of rock, and nothing inside the desk. Everything on top of the desk. That's it.
Inspecting through the desk, you looking through the drawers find several old jars of ink, several quills, stacks of parchmenture, a stack of parchmenture, I should say, blank mostly, some scribbles upon. You find a couple written notes that were never sent, a couple envelopes. You find a pair of metal seals, a bunch of sealing wax. You find a tinderbox, a bunch of candles, and a spare candle tray that matches the one on the desk, except a slight difference. The handle is like an ampersand, whereas the one is a curl. And then, do you do like a formal perception check, or is this just what you like rifle through the drawers?
Oh no, like I'm actually like interested in what's in here before we
no, that's all
get
fair.
out of Dodge. Yeah.
Sorry. And then there is a pair of large notebooks. I'll call them notebooks as they are not leather bound. They're simple bindings of papers stitched together. You can also I'll throw in a sewing kit that the guy would have used to put the books together. So, point being, this guy made his own notebooks, and you can see like they've got a bunch of notes that say things like, this person's order has to get done by this such time. This orders person, they've paid X amount. There's little bits torn off, etc. It's just a lot of jargon back and forth about various jobs that he's got coming through. Very much just a scratch sheet.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, initially you don't see anything specific or special about it. Just, it is what it is. It's a scratch sheet of various sales and such.
Using the tinderbox to light the candle on the desk. You get any better look at this, whatever this statue rock thing is?
Sure, yeah. As you look upon it, actually with the candle, it is so dark that you don't notice at first. It's got this sort of nose. It looks almost like a little dick that has a face on it, and then it's got this little, literally, nose that sticks out of it. The thing about the nose is it's kind of loose on there. The other thing that gets you is the statue is like attached to the desk.
Try and wiggle the nose or push it in, or
it wiggles easily enough at first, and when you push it, it suddenly goes click, and you hear a kind of schlack as it sounds a piece of wood slides on a spring being released, and it's somewhere around the under of the desk. You're not quite sure at first, but with a passive of 14, we're gonna find that hole, aren't we? Damn rights we are. Inside, sorry.
Can he fit under the desk, or is he too big?
I mean, he's on hands and knees and like he's doing his best. It's a pretty robust desk. I mean, he's not humongous, He's just a little bit bigger than your average humanoid. I digress and lose my train of thought. Hang on. Train reboarding at the station.
Then clicks. There's wood sliding on a spring.
Right. There's
Laz is going to look underneath to find it.
Crap. Sorry. You find a stack of parchments. Actually, stack is it's 3 parchments, and actually no, sorry, it's gonna be a stack of parchments. And what you see is they're special orders, but they're not actually the same as others. They're scratched in kind of like the same way that the scratch pad is, but this guy was taking kind of orders from other people for other stuff that he wasn't selling, like a middleman of sorts. And there's some odd bric-a-brac on here. There's some sort of marble statue. It says, and it says of Eldath, apparently. Goddess, it has in parentheses. And it says, waters of the... waters of life, we'll call it. There we go.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna
go ahead.
hand these over to Orion and Barry and be like, hey, you guys, Barry, Sort, and
Sure.
you guys make anything of this?
Everybody easily recognizes that they're basically just scratching notes talking about like an order of some sort. Somebody's ordered some custom piece or something, and apparently there's money involved to the tens of thousands of gold that you'd believe from the stacks that you just retrieved in your boxes, whatever cut this guy was getting. You also find amidst the stacks, to your surprise and pleasure, is a deed, you think. It certainly looks like it, given that it's got that scribble at the top that is extremely hard to read and is extremely fancy. And Orion looks at it excitedly as he sees it is in fact a deed to somewhere in this city. Amidst the stack, you also see that there's a license to some account that sits at the bank here in town. I can't remember what the bank in Teshville is called.
Laz, I believe this is what you call the mother load. Yes. Good find, my friend.
What does this go to?
Well, from personal experience, not stealing, I know that this is a
Borrowing.
deed. Yes, no, I found it. It was on the ground. That's what you tell them when they ask you.
I found it.
Yes, exactly. Laz, you've done this before. This is great. This is a deed, and this is an account at the bank here, which, if we are persuasive enough, we could possibly gain access to via this paperwork.
In my experience, you only throw something on the ground when you don't want it anymore.
That's right.
And you pick it up off the ground when you do want it.
Exactly, yes. Yes, like a shiny copper on the ground.
Exactly.
Well, I say we stash this,
yes,
take it with it, and then we gotta figure out how to get that gate open and get this car moving.
Agreed. This was a good little traverse, though. Thank you for dragging my ass in here last. Did not expect this. Sort will be eating meat for weeks.
Has anybody seen anything else in here?
I think we've pretty much cleared it out.
Besides fancy dress, no.
I've got my shiny dagger. It's
So
pointing my
we're
punch.
so if things are good, Laz is gonna make his way back to that window, the windows that allow us to get to access to the street on the other side of the gate, right?
That's the idea, I imagine. I just reckon.
Yeah.
I'll follow Laz.
So if we pop out on the other side, do we see any way into the guardhouses from there to manipulate those gates to open them?
Peering out from the window where you are, the angle is just not right that you can see the entryway to the tower even, but sighting up and down the street, you're surprised to see a complete lack of any violence. The place is pretty clean. As the wind billows all around the place, you can't help but note the tapestries are peaceful. The whole of the place echoes with the sound of the breeze as you listen to your own breath and heartbeat in a moment of peace that you haven't really felt, as the tension kind of peels away off you as you look out this window. It's weird, but nice. But otherwise, no, you can't see the tower. But you can see relief for a moment, maybe. Respite? Looks like this side of the tailor they just didn't invade, oddly enough. Like everybody just smashed the place and moved on.
Alright.
Perhaps there is a lever in the guardhouse up there. And maybe with a little bit of gentle force from Barry at the driver's seat, maybe we can get these gates open.
Sorth is gonna take another whack at climbing the wall.
Sorth, staring upon all this, eventually makes himself scarce, walking back out towards where he was staring upon it. Actually, you know what? The camera will just pan against the whole of you guys talking about this, and there's a decided absence of, and then it cuts to show you staring up from like down, like we're staring down at you, and you're just staring up at us as you're contemplating all this. Roll me athletics.
Shit, this wall was not meant to be. 11 again.
You manage to clamber up, knowing how difficult it is, but all the same, it's still difficult. Slipping at random, it's frustrating. It's sandstone. The wind is annoying. There's sand billowing into your lizardly little ear holes. Your ruffles and ripples are getting sand in the crevices. Your scales feel like they're crusty with sand again. The whole of this sucks. But you do your best, and could you sweat, you would be. But man, do you just wish there was a nice cool rock somewhere right now. As you're scratching your way up this, frantically, not so much, scratching as hard as you can, and yet doing your best not to scratch so hard that you break the damn sandstone. You hear an old friend's voice, the Minotaur. He cooked so well. That food that he had tasted so good. Kurgat, where are you today, you wonder. But as you clamber up this wall, you hope that he's okay. That maybe one day you'll taste what he has once again. No, he's not actually dead. He just, you were hallucinating. It was what it was. In any event, haven't seen the guy in like a month, I think. Or no.
It's been quite a while.
In real time, it's been like 6 months, man. Anyhow, roll me another athletics. Let's just get through this.
There we go. 18.
Clambering and clawing, you manage to scale the rest of the wall easily enough. Reaching the top, as the last brick breaks away underfoot, you pull yourself up and over, an avalanche of rubble falling to the ground. Looking around, you see that there's actually a large wheel and a large lever. The wheel is a simple enough sort of ship wheel, but it's held to a rope and a pulley system. Looks like the wheel is just something that you're pulling and turning, or maybe pushing and turning, you're not really sure. But then, pushing or pulling, it's your choice, isn't it now?
I'm gonna try to pull the wheel.
It doesn't move. It just ka-chunk, hits something. You look down at the gears and you can see that there's kind of something blocking the gears there, a large metal arm.
This reminds me of the hatch, so I'm gonna try and flip that lever.
As you grab a hold of it and throw me a strength check.
Oh, strength. Oh my god. 3.
As you pull the lever, you watch as the arm inside grinds against where you turned the gear into the arm. It pushes against it and doesn't do shit.
Laz, where are you when I need you? Oh, wait.
Nobody's gonna just inspire him and get it done?
I have rope.
I'll
Thank
inspire.
you.
I'll
Please.
inspire.
There's like 10, and there's like, what are you gonna use it for, really now? What are you saving it for? These are the guys that have those potions in their houses in like Morrowind and shit. Just the carpet 3 inches or 3 feet thick. Anyway, as we were saying.
Might need it later.
What's your total roller, brother?
That was an 8.
Oh shit, you know what? Fuck it. It's good enough. It's not 5 or less. So that said though, it scrapes a little bit and the whole thing releases. The gate, you watch as the whole of it kind of... There's a loud echo that goes off even inside the tailor's building.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go try my hand at the wheel again.
Strength again, my man. Actually, it's athletics is what it is.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I should have said that. My apologies.
16.
With that, you easily chunk. The whole of the gate begins to roll as one after the next, the links of the massive chain mechanism that leads to the pulley that is that rope, swinging that arm. Opening that gate takes a moment, but you manage to get her done. Dust billows through. The phoenix sits down in the dirt below. And as you look out the horizon of the city, you can see smoke smoldering up from your 3-story perch. Easily do you see over the horizon of most of the buildings around you. And you can see the violence in the distance, but nowhere near you. It's quiet, oddly enough, nearby the museum. It seems you can't quite tell. There it is, you think to yourself. That's it. Right? Yeah. There's lots of activity there. It'll be a good time. And as the camera pans against the lot of you guys inside the tailor, Laz kind of just checking his ass out in the mirror, thinking about chaps. And Barium looking upon Laz, wondering what the fuck he's doing. And Orion nearby, kind of daydreaming halfway, but looking out the window and thinking large numbers of gold. We pan to the lot of you guys as your attention is suddenly drawn in almost perfect unison towards the loud sound of the gunk, and then the swinging arm and the loud chain echoing away as you guys peer out from the window where you were standing to see the gate swing wide and open inside. Do you guys move out into the street?
No, I was gonna go back to get the car, but the first thing I was gonna do is look at Orion and be like, "Well, that saves me from throwing you out this window." just turn around and walk back out the front door to get back to the car.
Sounds fine.
Yeah, I'm heading back too.
And you do so.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like it'd be fun, Laz. You could do it anyway.
As it shows a lot of you guys in a camaraderie, it shows a split screen of Mo and his team walking just the same in a sort of arrow pattern. You guys laughing and jostling on the one side, and the grim scarabs on the other. It eventually goes to silence as we watch the strange parallel progress. The scenery changing as the lot of you split apart.
I want to note that I patted Laz on the back of his calf or whatever, is my height.
That's fair. It's awkward because he hasn't put on the chaps yet, but that's okay.
Hey, yes.
It'd be awkward either way, I imagine, which is really
Maybe later.
I guess it'd be his thigh.
You guys disperse as you do, making your way back to the Phoenix, I'm assuming. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Terrific shit.
Sorth is gonna climb back down or jump into the passenger seat.
That's fine. You guys kick it off and make your way off down through the Royal Crescent. The massive walls of the Teshburo Palace sprout up on the other side. No windows, just arrow slits, but no shots. The Navy being out of town, the Royal Guard is probably holed up to protect the royal family. Such is the way of Teshburo in pretty much every city in this town, in this country. Simple enough strategy, but that also leaves the Royal Crescent seemingly clear of raining arrows, or any violence for that matter. As the loud engine of the Deisius Valvulus echoes around this massive alleyway, you actually note a few causeways overhead that lead into the royal palace. Rolling along as you do, steering such that you avoid the few bits of cargo that litter the street. The crescent takes you along the route until we fade to black and the credits roll. That said, Dobransky, would you like what's your favorite? Holy fuck.
I
stumble over how many words.
I enjoyed Mo's scene of his Team Rocket grunt training areas and going through the motions and then being like, all right, you're the leader now. I could just picture like the guy in front of him falling, breaking his neck, and then be like, oh, the guy beside him became leader.
I'll be honest, I wanted to really like delve into it to some degree, but I figured I'd just like gloss it for the sake of expediency. But I imagine these guys are like, some of them losing their minds, some of them like dying, some of them doing stupid shit like, hey, watch me hold my beer. Yeah, totally.
I like that, and I like the fact that he's got his own little crew. I think it's going to make our interactions, if we actually meet each other, a little more entertaining.
You take me for here. I will ham fast fist that shit to the end of days. I'll be like, no, it's happening, motherfuckers. You're gonna feel it. I don't care what it takes. You're teleported there for no good fucking reason. Anyway, seriously though, glad you like it.
It was cool.
Anything else?
Yeah, I kind of like that. It was a little more somber. Not too much action happened. It was just a chill build up. Let's go.
Right on. With that, we'll go. Sean, what'd you hate? Was your reps least?
I like that there was always that thought of what the hell is going to pop out of somewhere and where are we getting to?
Yeah.
Figuring out some way to work in the assless chaps. I hated the fact that Laz is going back to having to use his axe to open everything. I think he was one of those moments where he was very surprised he succeeded at opening something.
It shows
I can
you.
Picture him just like playing with locks all the time. Be like, I got it, just breaking shit, and just throwing.
I imagine it'd show you in an after credit scene. We'd show you fucking regarding the new axe as it shines. By the way, you have enough time here in the Royal Crescent that you suddenly realize this magical axe of yours is a fantastic unit of +1 awesomeness. So you're welcome on that note. Anybody else who inspects the? Did you guys actually take the short sword and the dagger?
Orion took the dagger. I took the short sword and the plate just in case we could use it for.
So you guys will know that this shit over the course of is in fact magical. It's all +1 gear. So during your little car ride there in the after credits scene, however you figure it'll be represented.
Damn.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, what is it?
I already have a +1 dagger. Or two
Oh,
of
do
them.
you? Now you have a throwable one, or you can pass it on to
Sweet.
someone else.
No one expects.
You said it's ornate, right?
It is
ornate.
quite.
I
It's
could
got
probably-
ruby and
probably
shit in
get
it.
some. Yeah, I could probably get some good money for that.
You can hide it in your anal tract, so in case you ever get caught or something.
There's a thought. Maybe I'll stab it into Mo's chest.
And then carry around Mo. It's brilliant. Keep your daggers safe. And you thought they smelled bad on the outside. Anyway, with that said, right on. Sorry, where were we, Sean? What were you saying?
Oh no, I mean that was it. I really enjoyed the the interactions and trying to figure out what to do. It was a little confused about what to do at the beginning with Sophie, because she has just been a burden on Laz.
It's very open-ended, so it is very difficult, I will admit.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm sure it's gonna be frustrating watching us kind of stare at each other and go, what the fuck did we do with her?
No, never. My job is just I'm just processing this shit as we go,
Never?
creating story with you guys. No, I shouldn't say never. Often does. Actually, you guys piss me off on the regular, but I cope. It's expensive with the therapist, but I'm managing it. Alcohol is a high bill too. Like, let's admit. And this is your fault. I want to tell you, this is all you. I blame my problems on other people.
Yeah.
Toxic traits. There it is. There you go. I'm totally fessing up. Anyway, sorry. Send crypto. I made 1,000, 700, 1,200. I made 600. I made 2,400. I made $100. I made $1,000. Crypto.
That's crypto. I made $3,000 a day.
Huzzah! No, $200. I made $3,000. No, 200. $3,000 again. Yeah.
now you just can't lose it.
Is it still going like crazy? Is it still just
Some
like bonkers out
coins.
It's
there?
always crazy.
Some
It's
coins
always
are
crazy.
weird. Yeah.
Even when it's down, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's true actually. Anyway, sorry, we digress. Crypto. Fuck.
Yes.
Everybody. Yeah. Anyway, right on. Rick, what's up? What'd you like? What'd you hate? What's the least?
So I like the fact that it was more of a calm night in D&D, because any great story is not gonna just be 100% action all the time. It's gotta have some calm moments, and it kind of makes me feel like something big's gonna happen next week.
Well,
It's gonna completely change the. It's gonna completely change the pace.
The
And,
fate of the universe.
I enjoyed Mo's comeback, even though our characters have no idea of it right now. I think it's pretty cool. He's got his own little group. Looking forward to see what comes from that.
I'll admit, to build on that, it's interesting having the opportunity alongside what you get in the variety of characters to provide that variety of characters and breadth of experiences, such that it is a challenge, and I'll admit annoying sometimes, but in the end, the truth is you're addressing so many different ways of storytelling that, I appreciate the challenge for what it is that way. Having to provide experience and deliver these varied forms of within the framework and within, of course, whatever allotments that we have here, you know what I mean? So that part is cool to me too. If that makes sense, I hope that makes sense.
It's just got to be hard to keep it all straight. I mean, that's just.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I say, it's a challenge on all fronts, right? But when you have as many different directions of character as Ben gets to take on with Mo and excuse me, the stream of other characters leading from Yolanda all the way back to Gary, it's a lot of, despite a running theme, may I say, there's a varied approach to that theme, and for one of the characters, two of the characters, three of the characters, there's been an abandonment of that theme. There's been a lot of characters. Wow. But at the same time, like I've been saying, it's nice to have the opportunity to deliver that range of different experiences. So just wanted to say that much. With that said, anything else, Rick?
Going on to what you and Laz had brought up, sometimes there's this indecisiveness that I have during certain situations. Say with Sophie, it's I don't even know what the fuck to do with her anymore. My character wants nothing to do with her. She's after she pickpocketed him, he's I you guys pick, basically,
So with the situation as it is, I mean, how does everybody feel having left her behind?
She's gonna go the same way as Mel.
I don't like it. I don't like it, but I think putting the my thing was just trying to think about, the spirit was threatening us, and it's you're tied to the bus, put you on blocks, we can take Sophie wherever the hell we want. And I couldn't figure out if we needed her for something with this. And that was the whole thing. I'm I can't remember, and it's Laz, so he's just fucking frustrated with her. And so in his mind, it's I feel like she's important to have, but it's really going to be a pain in the ass to, it's that really nice, super heavy, piece of equipment. You're this would be great to fucking carry, but I don't want to carry this the entire time and not use it.
I don't keep a carpet of potions in my house in Merlin. I keep a chest that has maybe 10 potions in it. I'll be honest. I'm that sort of person. I keep things organized. I put them nicely on a shelf. I can't help it. But with that said, my man Ben, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What's your vote's least?
Like Rick said, it's always nice to have a a calm session. That way, I don't have to fear for my life.
All it
I
takes is a
also
crit
like to
fail.
use
Mm-hmm.
involvement with those scarabs. I feel like I could do a lot of interesting character development. So now that he's responsible for a group at like a young age, it's not to be like, oh crap, all these people's lives are in my hands now. And knowing me, I might get them all killed. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, one thing I found interesting was that you guys seem to like using my face as your backgrounds.
You started it. Just saying.
I'm not complaining. It's very
Besides, you're a good looking
very
dude.
stylized.
You find yourself in Squid Game 2. Cass is the lead role. Because they're going to have to replace him. Or Squid Game 3, I should have said. Because they're going to need to replace the lead role.
That's right.
I'll buy that for $1. You do well in it. Be good. You make good suggestions.
Yeah, I think I would. So I just resurrect myself with a new character every time.
You get a better credit for it. They take your ideas, they run with it.
You just fluke your way through it.
Totally. On that note, though, my man Cody, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What'd you rub east?
I kind of like the somber, realization that like how shitty this city is, like the condition it's in right now. Like you literally drive into the streets and there's no signs of like life or joy. And,
No, everybody's driven out. Everybody's like, I can't live here anymore. Fuck this.
You pull up to a shop and like the shopkeeper is dead on his own counter. Like it's pretty morbid, right? So I really liked that kind of darker tone. And I liked the loot, obviously. It's been a while since we've had a looting session.
One of these days, I'm just gonna provide literally the musical instrument, like a guitar, a lute. Be like, what? You didn't like the lute?
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue. Sorry,
awesome.
I didn't mean to hijack.
No. No, I just liked it, and I liked playing Orion's character and kind of building that camaraderie again. Like I said, Death has kind of changed Orion a little bit, so you might see his tone and his attitude change towards his companions as things progress. And I think he's gonna try and enjoy life while he has it, because I think he did not enjoy the afterlife as much as he thought he would.
I think on that note, there would be a crossfade at the end credits scene to show your old crew flying through astral space as your first mate stands atop the prow, and she's like, "As you should, Captain. As you should. Just thinking about you as you think about your crew." And with that, though, I'm glad everybody had fun. I think the session, everybody had fun?
Oh, yeah.
I think the session had a good pace to it for the most part. I wanted to include Ben more. You weren't there for a bit. Eating and whatnot is fine. Point being, though, I'm glad I could include you as much and get some of the morality and whatnot out of the way so that I establish some of like what's going to come up based on. With that said, loyalties have to be established and whatnot like that, of course, and so we'll see where the decision's taking. And your crew. With that in mind, though, I'm glad everybody enjoyed actually the side quest that is currently Mo's world. And I'm glad you endured the sparse content for you there, Ben. Being that I think all I've told you had like 20-25 minutes of maybe 30 minutes of stage. But in a 2-hour game, that's still 25%, and that's not bad. Where were we though? The pacing of it I thought was really good. You guys making it through, like you say, everybody actually somber came up twice. I think that's a great definition. I'm glad that came up as it was. Great word as well. Nice slow sort of meander towards your goal, which may be under fire the way it is, but everything apart, which has no real value to the current context, nobody gives a flying fuck about. Everybody's escaped for their lives and their survival, after all. So nobody cares about whatever rags or riches are locked away in some, noble's thing they don't even know about, right? So, you guys taking the time, so it is. How does everybody feel about the loot? Everybody likes it. Well, I mean, Cody likes the loot. Loot? Well, Laz likes loot. Yeah. This thing's gonna be good. So, actually, you know what? Odds are evens. Odds are evens. Odds are evens, Sean. Odds are evens, Sean. Odds are evens, Sean. Odds are evens.
Odds.
Oh. So with a lucky number 7 as the luck, this is gonna be so bad. I'm gonna hate myself so much. As I'm as you're watching the after credits scene here, where you're kind of regarding this thing like with the swing of it, you get kind of a weird confidence to yourself, and you give it a flip. And you give it a flip, and you catch it on the handle. Hey, you're a pro. You do it again. Man, this is easy. You pick it up and you throw it. You throw it at a post. Dunk! It goes in. Oh shit, look at this. You pull it out of the thing a moment later. You're like, you throw it in an alleyway, and you watch as it goes, or not in an alleyway, in a courtyard, and you watch as it goes, and comes around to yourself.
That's pretty fucking
I'm gonna
sweet.
regret this.
Wow.
You have a boomeranging dwarven +1 axe.
This will be a lot of fun.
Just don't crit fail.
Yeah, please don't.
Right through your forehead.
What was the one from Mad Max? He goes to catch it, loses all his fingers, right?
Oh,
Typical Mad Max.
It had to happen eventually. This thing won't just
you end
stick
up
in
looking like
somebody's
this.
head though. This thing's gonna fucking take like it'll split things apart. Balcony ledges, balcony supports bringing down ledges, people's heads. Who's to say? I mean, the possibilities. Barrels and crates, oh my. But point being, I'm probably getting a bit excessive. But we'll give this thing 60 feet range. 60 feet, we'll give it 60 feet range. So that's gonna, it's gonna fly in a 180, we'll call it like a 270 degree arc if it has the room. Otherwise, if it hits anything, it stops. Chat, should I make it recallable? Vote now at home.
Why not?
Gonna make Laz a double threat now.
That's
Oh,
our
he's
secret
a
axe.
frontliner now. I guess we got Bjorn still.
Can't wait for Laz to throw it past an enemy, and they're like, "Oh, you missed!" And then it comes back around, hits him in the back of the head. It's like Captain America's shield.
That's exactly it.
Hi, Han.
Totally, exactly the same thing. Fuck yeah. Anybody else? I mean, I don't see any other votes. I mean, it's two for yes so far. Boomerang axe. And I don't I don't expect anybody. Yeah, you're all for it, Eric. I don't expect anybody's gonna be against this. So
For entertainment value.
yeah, that's really it. That's really it right there. You know what? If nobody's gonna say no. In 3, 2, 1, going, gone. All right, terrific. Good talk, everybody. Boomerang axe it is. 60 feet. So with that said, this is about as good as stapling people to the wall, I think.
Yeah.
With that said, you've got a boomerang axe +1. With recall ability. So as it sticks into a post, you're like, "Urgh, I wish it was back in my hand. and you watch as it rips out of the post, and a whole ledge falls and crumbles in the background, and it's just like, and the axe flies in towards you. You're like, oh crap! And you hold out your hand as it tunk lands directly in your hand, like you were fucking
Excellent.
Thor from Marvel Universe.
Yeah, like
Please don't sue.
Mjolnir.
Oh, Laz is going to be dangerous at a distance. This should be fun.
Don't mistake
afraid.
any of us for an enemy.
My
I'm
group is
gonna
I'm
regret
just
this
gonna
later,
go
but I
against you,
think
and
it's
I'll
very
just
cool
die
right
instead.
now. Because
We just have to
Is
be
it
like
alcohol,
out of the way
yes,
of
I don't
its
know.
return trajectory.
I'm staying the fuck out of the way.
Yes. Last in the front line. All right, I'm just gonna stand 30 feet back. No, wait, 65 feet
Can't-
back.
I can't wait till Laz gets drunk as hell and starts throwing the axe around.
Oh god.
I don't think that's too terrible. I mean, really, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily beat the short sword or the dagger. Not that you guys have done anything with those at all. So
Yeah.
whatever. No, seriously, because Sean said that Laz is taking on the Dwarven axe, and he's all interested in it. It's the new toy. I get that. That was more. Wait, am I imagining things? Did you declare that or not?
Yeah, so I did declare this that I was very interested in the axe when it came out, and then no one else was grabbing for the short sword or the plate, so I threw it in my bag, remembering that Bjorn had lost all of his crap and was like scavenging stuff out of like whatever he could find.
So with that said, you just said that you were taking the dagger and you were interested in the ruby. But moreover, there is the dagger and the short sword to equip, fuck around with, learn things about, something nobody has declared about. So we'll conclude on that. Fantastic boomerang axe that you have now. And with, we'll call it, what level is everybody currently? Is, 7, 8?
Oh,
Nine.
nope. 9.
9.
Nine.
Okay, yes.
9 2/3.
9 and 1 little.
How many experience does Sorth have?
55,000.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say 100.
5,500. Back to level 3.
So you guys get another 2,200 experience this session,
Sweet.
taking you 1/6 to the next level. Fuck, I have no idea. Okay, never mind. I'm making shit up. Approximately. How many experience to the next level for Sorth?
So it needs another like 7,000
Okay, cool.
almost.
No, that's a quarter then. I gave you a quarter. All right, cool. But actually, that's good too. Sweet. Excuse me, everybody. With that said, you have a new weapon. That is the first magical shit I'm giving you guys. No. I'm giving you guys like light grade magical shit, but like nothing high grade magical.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have 2 daggers plus 1, and then I don't have any other magical stuff. I just have like my rifle that I picked off that body and that pistol
Right.
that I got from the last Christmas.
I've got my pony and my my ring.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got the pony.
I have Sophie.
That's fair, actually. You get a full on shotgun.
Yeah.
We need the shotgun, Sophie.
I didn't really know. How much ammunition do you still have for Sophie? Did we establish? Or did I just say
Yeah,
lots?
hold on. Thought I was started with like a total of 20.
Yeah, you had a bunch. I remember that. Easily 20, and then I can't remember if you picked up more.
I don't think I picked up any more after that. You have 17 left.
Well, at some point you're gonna want to take apart ammunition, figure out how it works, and then make your own.
That is true.
And then you can make all sorts of ammunition for Sophie and have lots of fun with Sophie. That was the whole that was the whole point of Sophie.
I want to have fun with Sophie.
I'm just like thinking, should I really go down that route? And do I really want to like, I'm over 40, man. I'm just like, am I over it? Kind of over it, but I'm not. I'm still a kid at heart. What can I say? Fart jokes, back. Anyway, whatever. Long and the short, I want everybody to have some good shit. Like I said, this is supposed to be a gonzo thing, but we're getting to that 10th level now, where like D&D becomes something else, and levels start to become like really far apart, and the enemies become really weird and crazy and powerful if you really want to challenge your players, because your players are now very, very powerful themselves, and there's like a point to how the curve actually works in D&D. But the point is that as we move forth, this whole thing is going to get really, really, really gonzo. Has to get really, really gonzo, because that's how it has to go with this fucking curve. That's just D&D for you, in my opinion. This is my opinion. That, and I like Gonzo. As like a Muppet character, Gonzo's the best. No, actually, I mean, like I like Fozzie too. Now I don't know. I'm somewhere else.
Gonzo was awesome.
Gonzo was awesome. But Fozzie was good. Come on. Kermit was good, but everybody likes Kermit because Kermit was Kermit. He was just like a good dude. He was getting fucked around a lot. He had his responsibilities and shit like that, and he's doing his best, that sort of shit.
Simp. He is a simp.
It is what it is, right? Like, he's doing his best. Simp as he is, he's doing his best. You gotta give him credit. It is what it is. If he wasn't there, the whole of it wouldn't work, man. Simp as he is, the whole of it wouldn't work without that fucking keystone that Kermit is, and everybody else fucking depends on him, in as much as. But the point is, everybody has to respect that. But who's your favorite character? I don't know.
Waldorf and Statler.
Ha, yes. Actually, totally random. I found a book of the whole the Muppets show skits compiled together in like a white covered Bible, if you'll believe it, with like gold gilded cover and shit like that. It's crazy. Wow. But yeah, no, it's cool with illustrations, painted, hand drawn with beautiful crayon, pencil
Sounds
crayon.
Expensive.
Really. Value Village for like $5, right? But like years ago it was $20. 30 years ago it was $20. It would have cost a fortune. Anyway, sorry, I digress here. But the point is that was very cool. And yes, my favorite characters and blah 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 blah. Sorry, yes. Sociological discussions aside. No, I am glad everybody enjoyed the session. Thank you for watching, everybody, too, with this, actually. And with the story, the way it's developing, I am very interested to see where we can fucking go with it. Because, honestly, the upcoming portion of it is still kind of foggy for me. And what I mean by that is how on earth exactly everything's going to go down, and how... Like, at some point, we might even have a session for, like, in-house for Waterdeep, and Strosh's plans are what they are there, and he's relying on this, is my ruling here. And so, if you guys manage to fuck this up, and this is not to get, like, really meta, but, like, if you guys fuck him over here, then the whole of it falls apart.
I see.
And so,
there's consequences in the other.
Yeah. Totally. Strosh's, like, there's a reason his plans are where they are.
I literally just finished my last assignment today, so I just have exams, so we can get back to Waterdeep soon here.
I also want to say yes. Animal is best. I'm just gonna go with that. Animal is great. Muppets. I did forget about Animal. I'm gonna go with that. You know why? Because it absconds me from every responsibility thereby, and it can destroy everything in drums. No, seriously though, he's you know what?
So,
sorry.
Will that work? Will that work the other way too? Like things we do in this campaign, will they affect what happens in the other campaign?
I mean, if you guys had anything going on in your campaign, yes, then there would be no Stroshus by now. But since there's so much going on in this campaign and so little going on in yours, what can I say? But time is. But long and the short, you guys could shut Strocius down before these guys even get a chance to, and then his plans here, not really fizzle, but eventually wane out.
He shifts
all the
them,
same.
right? Yeah.
Well, he'd do his best. Something would happen. Will you
Right.
defeat him in Waterdeep? Maybe. Right? I only have so much plans. I'm only trying to be undead. I'm still human after all. Or am I human?
Yeah.
Half elven? I can't remember actually now I was raised. Fuck. It's been a while since I wrote him down. No, he's half elven. Actually, is it?
I can't remember. All I know is he had a big metal gauntlet.
Yeah, no, where his hand was cut off.
Yeah.
It's a classic one, actually. I love that mini for that. Mixing Warhammer parts in with D&D minis can be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
You
that's
kids at
smart.
home, do it. Seriously, do lots of it. Especially with guns and such. Holy shit, some of the stuff I've pulled off. Mixing in pistols and whatnot looks fantastic. Bolters, I mean. Oh, so beautiful. Especially, I can't say enough for it. Just really the forearms and whatnot. Give it a little clip here and there and whatnot. The robes are really easy to take off, and you can turn minis. I'm digressing. I'm drunk. Apologize completely, all. Lord knows. That said, I'm hoping everybody's entertained at the very least. But yes, Animal and drums all the way. Fozzie's still a fantastic character. Everybody loves Kermit for what he is. Simp and the Archway Keystone that he is. The Muppets are great forever. And everybody had fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love the
sir.
pacing of it. I loved everything about it. It was a good roleplay session. I'm glad everybody had fun. Next session, we'll see how everything pans out as we head in from the Royal Crescent towards the museum's Undercroft entryway that is nowhere near the museum. This ever so convenient little entryway that was on your map, as it were. And I made that mistake actually earlier when I said you're heading in towards the museum when I should have said the entryway. With that in mind, it'll be my pleasure to be your Dungeon Master, your entertainer, and your fantastic teller of stories. I had a thing going there, but I totally lost it. But anyway, teller of stories next time on Black Thumb. Until then, may your 20s always land on 20s.
Great.
Thanks very much, and have a
Thanks,
good night.
everybody. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you,
Have a good night.
everyone.
My pleasure.
Have a good
all.
night.
Catch you guys later, bro.
Cheers, all. And for those of you at home, if you like what you see, we stream every Monday from 7-ish. No, actually, that's a lie. Sometime after 7 until whenever we get asked into seats, and then we start to progress on with the story until about whenever we finish, which tonight is now. And it is always my pleasure to entertain. Until next time, may your 20s always land on 20. And next time, maybe we'll have you join us again. Cheers. Have a wonderful evening and week. Until then.